Here we go. A strong Bitcoin. There we go. A strong Euro US dollar. There it is. A strong GBP US dollar. And a strong New Zealand US dollar. Not so strong, really, on the New Zealand compared to the Aussie and so forth.
Yeah.
And we would have a weak USD CAD. Oh, it's bucking the trend. Interesting. That's very unusual. We'd have a weak USD Swiss, and it's somewhat weak. And we have a weak USD JPY, and it's not. So these are all bucking the trend. This is quite unusual. Usually, with a weak US dollar, we'd get a weak US dollar versus the CAD, but the CAD's obviously very weak, and so US dollar is very strong against it. So quite interesting there. With oil, we've got a strong oil against a weak US dollar. With silver and gold, this is silver. Silver is strong against the US dollar, and gold should be strong against the US dollar, but not greatly strong against the US dollar currently. So quite interesting there. All right. A look at Tesla this morning. And I'm on the 15-minute. So we opened here this morning and went up first and chopped around for a while, and then big drop. And Peter said that he caught this move down. So I don't know, Peter, if you caught most of it, some of it. No matter what you did there, that's very nice.
Yeah, I can't. Let me see. Where did I go? Short. Two. I'd have to look it up, but
No problem.
yeah, I jumped on board pretty much after the top, the 1, 2, 3 top.
So there was this 1, 2, 3 top here.
Yeah, and then boom. And I drew a trend line. I had a trend line in there that took me in.
Yeah, so we'll be having a trend line, something like that, catching the entry in this area.
Yeah, I got that.
And down. So even from there, 286 to 302 or so, that's 6 points, 5-6 points anyway. So
yeah, that's good money.
That's very nice. Very nice. Yeah, that's really good. So look at the S&P, similar at the open. We were
the S&P and the NAS tanked because of pretty much Trump's talk on tariffs yesterday.
So the market opened here on this morning and went down from there. Might have gone up for a moment in time, perhaps, but after that, at least 9 o'clock, there's 9:15, 9:30. No, it went straight. It went up for a little bit and then straight down from there. And now we've turned around. We actually have a 1, 2, 3 bottom that is in place. And we know now where we are and looking for a continued push to the upside. Probably to take out this high up here. So if we can get in this area, we might be able to catch a nice little ride to the upside here. And the NASDAQ would be similar and very close to not being similar, interestingly, because let me go and look at both of them on the 15. So on the 15-minute with both, you can see S&P's on the 5. Let me switch that to the 15. Okay, so it was almost divergence here, but not quite. So both of them gave us a 1, 2, 3 bottom. The
Yeah, they
the
both
NASDAQ
like 1, 2,
seemed to
3.
be a lot stronger in this area and gave us a much bigger push than the S&P did. So again, we're sitting in a choppy area. So looking for an entry to take us out and up, take us out and up. So you can see how the difference here, the previous high here and the previous high here, which are at the same time, the NASDAQ's already reached that previous high while the S&P is still struggling to get up there. So quite interesting there. All right, so looking at the NAS again if I drop down to the 5-minute, now we can see the structure quite nicely. We've got a nice one, A, B, C, and then a big strong move out back up to the previous highs. We've actually cut through the previous high, and now we're just chopping around. So can we pinpoint our way out of this mess? We come down to the 1-minute time frame, and we're going to be looking for a way to get out. So what I'm looking for is that sweep, and we've got one right here. We need a breach of a previous high. We've got one right there, and then a retrace back in, and we already had a retrace right there. So that could have been an entry. So I do have a gap right there as well. This might have been our entry. Might have missed it by seconds here. Could have been really close at that point. Could have entered at that point if I had just come in on the NASDAQ maybe 30 seconds earlier. So
Yeah,
that might have been our
close to a good entry.
Yeah, that might have been our entry right there. So there's our classic pattern. Our A, our B, our C, our D, and then our E leg. And that takes us right down. And the E leg consisting of 5 waves. Takes us right down, gives us a nice 1, 2, and then off we go. So that would have been, again, I just missed this by a few seconds. I would have been right in on that. Catch that move.
Lennox, one of the problems of this morning is that we're in a very, very high volatile market. The last I looked at the VIX, it was up to around 25. So, you know, your stop had to be really pretty big because you can get quite rigorous swings on these candles.
Yeah, an entry here, stop would have been right here, so not too bad. So you can see from the 4-hour bars, I got 4-hour bars. These are 4-hour bars over here on the right-hand side. So I've got my last 3 4-hour bars. And you can see the current bar just opened at 1 o'clock. So we just opened and we dropped down. So that gives us our wick. That's our wick here. And we drop down into that, or sorry, the tail, call that the tail, drop down into the tail and went up. And now we're into the body of the candle, the green of the candle going to the upside. So that would have been the perfect entry. Unfortunately, just missed a miss on that one. You can't get actually, you really, it's hard pressed to get a nicer setup. Looking at it, let me go up to the 5 minutes.
Yeah, you really had to be quick on that, though.
Yeah, I had to be quick there, and I just missed it, but very beautiful setup. So you can see we had the 1, 2, 3 bottom at this point, and this big move, and then we chopped around in here, and then formed a quick 1, 2, 3, and now we're out, taking out the previous high, and heading up to the next highs. Likely that high, these equal highs here are likely in sight for target.
Oh, your target is up there, yeah. So 1 hour.
All right, let me take a look at Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is done similar. This is off the 5-minute time frame as well. Bitcoin formed a beautiful 1, 2, 3 bottom at this point. So there's our sweep, retrace, entry area, and off we go. And it could have taken profits at that point. And it's still going. Not much of a pullback here at all. Not much of, how the NAS did more of a dance in here before it went. The S&P, the Bitcoin didn't do much here. It's just a little blip, and then we're still going. So very strong on Bitcoin currently. So let's see where they're going. And there's the 15-minute. Okay, I need to just change my settings here. And executions, where are we? Take executions off. Okay, so we're pushing up quite nicely, looking to come up and take out these relatively equal highs up here before we might get a little jig. So very strong moves. All these. Right, so nothing to trade at this moment in time because again we missed that.
We missed that trade.
So it's going to be a while before we get another setup here. So we have to just, in the interim, I could take a look at Euro JPY and GBP JPY. Just as and it's the same type of movement here as well. Interesting. So again, you can see the setups are just beautiful on these. They sweep, they make a beautiful 1, 2, 3 bottom, and off we go. A little jig in here, same kind of thing, and then another move to the upside. So if I went down to the 1 minute and was looking for an entry right in here, looking just moments ago again, I'm on the 5 minutes, so with 10 minutes ago. Had I looked at this 10 minutes ago and was looking for an entry, we would be again in this area. We'd be looking for a sweep, looking for a 1, 2, 3, looking for a sweep at the top, which we just barely got, and then looking for an entry in this area, and that would catch that move. So that's the Euro JPY. GBP JPY, similar, same type of thing. Sweep, looking for a sweep at the top. It's more of a tie. Get that nice move, retrace, entry, another 1, 2, 3, and then off they go. So really nice setups here on both instruments. Let's take a look at Aussie US dollar. I was looking at Aussie US dollar last night, and I noticed that there was a beautiful play on the 1 hour time frame. And here was the setup on the hourly. This was, make this a little bigger. There it is. So there was a 1, 2, 3 right here on the hourly for Aussie US dollar. That would have been a nice play to the upside. So on the hourly time frame, the same kind of thing. Sweep, drop down, a change of character there. Retrace back in and catch that move to the upside. So on the hourly, it's quite powerful as well. And then we can see that even on the lower time frame, there it is again. Sweep right there, move up, sweep right here, drop back in, entry, catch it on the 15, and we could go down to the 5 minute, and it's on the 5 minute as well. same type of thing, sweep, move back up, another sweep, retrace, entry, catch the move. And then on the 1 minute time frame, it's there as well on the 1 minute, even at this level right here, the same setup. And it's just, again, sweep, move back up. This time you're looking at previous high here, retrace back in, and off we go again. So it's, it's always one thing to show it after the fact, but you want to catch them, of course, in real time. And it looks like we're going to have to be waiting a little bit today to do that. So that would have been a nice trade on NASDAQ. Now we're not done, so we're getting a retrace here. So again, we have an opportunity to get in. So it's a lot quicker than I thought we would get here. So we'll be looking for an entry to continue to take out these highs. That will be the expectation. So can we get a 1, 2, 3 in this area to continue? We have to be a little cautious because it's a fourth wave. So we could chop up and down in here. We have to, we have to be careful. We could get the same kind of chop like here.
That's a big retrace. It's
It is.
75.
Yeah, they've come back into this gap here on the 1 minute. Quite interesting.
That's like it did yesterday on this.
That could be an entry. Could have been an entry there. It's a very quick 1, 2, 3 right there. And again, it's the same. It's the same thing. It's a sweep. And then 1, 2, 3. So I could have entered at that point to catch the move here. And how I determine this right here is exactly the same thing as what occurred in here. That occurred in here. But it's just just with 2 candles, 3. Well, let's say 3 candles, the sweep candle and so forth. So I could take a trade at this point. I'm going to buy it right there. When I go to the seconds chart, I'm on 10 seconds chart. This is 10 seconds. We see there our sweep, our move up, take out the high, come back in, buy to go. So it's the exact same setup that we're looking for, but with just fewer candles. But on the seconds chart, of course, there's a whole slew of candles. But on the minute chart, you only see 2 or 3 candles. Oh. So I take a risk doing this, of course, at this point, but because I'm in a fourth wave. So where do I place my stop? Well, one of the things is the wick is a gap, so I can put my stop, say 3/4 of the way down on the tail, and don't have to put it all the way at the bottom. They'll use the halfway point of the tail as a support, hopefully, and we'll continue pushing to the upside here. So let's see if that works. Okay, it's taking its time getting out of there. Not liking that too much. We should be moving a little quicker out of there.
Yeah.
Than we are. So they're coming back down, back to the center of the tail. We don't want him to go through that. Oh, and that could be in trouble now. And I am. So that didn't work. Maybe I needed to put my stop at the below the low, but no, that they've tied it at the low as well. So wouldn't have worked there either. Okay, so that wouldn't have worked at all. So it looked pretty good, but so it's saying that this was a fourth wave that I was in. That's why it's taken us so long to get out. So this is the drop. So I would look for a new entry at this point here. All right, so we'll try again. So that did not work out. So what it's actually doing then is 1, 2, this is 3, 4, and then we're getting a drop. So now I'm getting a sweep. We're coming into the middle of this gap here, and so a turnaround at this point would be the best bet for an entry. Okay, and I'm liking this now, so let's see if we can catch it. I'll wait for the next candle. There we go. Let's see if we can go above the previous candle's open. So they might want to take this low one more time. And then give us the 1, 2. Sometimes this is all they need is just a touch of, that wick right here, just a touch into the gap, and that would be sufficient for us to leave. But in this case, we had a 1, 2, 3 top. I thought it was quick, maybe a bit too quick, and so yeah, they chop it up a bit and go back deeper into the gap this time. So and that's the way it is. Now they tried to take out the low, but they did not. Are they going to take that low? You might come back down again and take it. Or not.
Good morning and good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good evening,
Good
Mark.
evening, Martin.
Morning, Martin.
Hi.
Okay, so will they come back down one more time, or are they done? They're chopping sideways again. Similars are in here. So I'm going to give them an opportunity to take the lows. Now they've made equal lows here. I would think that they would. I would think that they would come through and take out those lows before we get a turnaround. You can see how tentative everything is in here. So we're just chopping sideways. Looking for a breach of the low. Okay, there we go. They're taking the low. So now, need them to break above the high. It'll give us a 1-2. And that would be our entry area here. Take the low again. Looks like they might take this low one more time, but that puts us right at the bottom of our gap. So it's quite a long way down that they've come. Quite unusual to come so deep into the gap. And they're taking the low again, just by a tick. Okay, a little bit more than a tick now. All right, so that gives us a sweep. And we're going a lot lower, so we're coming into an area that I didn't really expect them to come into here. So we're going a lot lower. Let me just take this off for a second. So we're going down back into our 1-2 area, which is highly unusual. So coming back into this area is not so great. We thought we would have gotten a bounce, from this area, but they've come quite a ways down. So interesting that they did that. So let me take a look at this from the 5-minute standpoint. we can see we're up high on this chart. So we've made quite the move to the upside here. So this is basically just going to be a retrace, a counter trend move back to the upside. Short-lived, more than likely, get equal, maybe like a head and shoulders here. And we would more than likely be coming back down this way. So that's what's going on. Okay, so we drop back down to the 1 minute. So an opportunity, but this would be just a counter trend move. Not looking to take out the high at all now. Let me see if I can jump on board here at this point again. See if we can get that move out now. Okay, getting a nice push. Let me see if I can get back up to this high and take a little portion off. Okay, take a little something off right there. And did not put a stop in, but I'll put a stop in now at just below that candle. So my risk is reduced completely. We're getting a nice move. Let's see how far we're going to go. There is a gap here at this point. So it's already been mitigated. So we could come back up into this gap. Yeah, I can't take I cannot put a target way up here because it's not likely that we're going to go up there. So I could look at just this gap here as a possible target area. So just a quarter of the way in. My gap's not showing here. Okay, so getting a nice move here. I'm going to move my stop into positive so that there is no loss on this trade. We do have a gap here, so we should continue pushing from off this gap. It's a little tepid. This was the move here. That was the move. That's what you want to see, and that's classic. You get your 1-2 and you get that strong move. So we're slowly getting something similar here, but again, I'm looking to take the profits off quicker because they might not go to take this high, and I don't really know how high up they're going to go at this point because I'm not seeing a good structure formation here. So that's our previous shoulder here, and so in that area we could just barely make it here maybe. And look, they're looking to take me out already anyways. Might have moved my stop a bit too tight there. Actually, I am going to put my stop up the high. I see that it's a possibility that we could take that high once more. So from the 15-minute time frame, it is a definite possibility because of the fact that on the 15-minute time frame I have a 1, 2, 3 here that pushed us up to this level. So this could give us another push to take out the highs one more time. And we could even assault these equal highs up here, but just going to this high might work. So let me just on the 5-minute. That's the 15-minute 1, 2, 3 I was looking at. So this whole move could be one more push to take out that high. Let's see if we can get through this gap, and I'll have that opportunity. So if we can close above this gap, that'd be good. If we can get another gap here, would be good. This would be the first level of target.
Looks like they're a little over 70, right around 70% of that down move. So I wonder if they're going to turn down at this point.
Yeah. I do have a 1, 2, 3 here, so it looks pretty good that we should be able to make it to this high. So now my 1, 2, 3 is in place.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. No question.
So I've got a 1, 2, 3 here and a 1, 2, 3 here, both about the same height. So it portends this high being taken based on that. So as long as we can close above this gap here, if we can close above it, then we're good to go. But if we stall out in here, then might be a problem. So again, I can move my stop up a little bit more here. Don't want to bring my stop up too tight because I could get taken out quite easily. So I'll go to 500 here. There.
Yeah, as I say, volatility is still very high.
All right, now can we go through this gap? Let's see if we can cut through like butter and close above. And we've got some gaps forming, so looking like we might be able to cut right through. That's beautiful. So if we can close above, then we're good to go. That would be the...
Yeah, that'd be nice if we could go above the prior high.
Oh. All right, looks like we're going to close above. So now I could even move my stop higher because, I mean, my target, I should say, higher because
higher, yeah.
We've got more room to go maybe up to these equal highs. So I can do that. I can move my target up a little bit higher. Let's go to the high here. I'll put it right up the top just to see if we can get way up there. All right, so now just a matter of managing my stops here. Keep moving it up. Over 1,000 now in profit. Let's see if we can continue. If I get any kind of pullback, and we might at this point here, we could get we could come into, you know, this kind of thing. I could always add some more for the final push. Oops. So essentially what I'm looking at as well is the current 4-hour candle, and again, based off the 4-hour candles that I've got these 3 4-hour candles here. The current candle, remember we opened, went down in a wick, and now we're just in the body of the candle. So we're going up in the body of the 4-hour candle. We're going to the upside. So where is the 4-hour candle likely to go to? It's likely to go and take out the high here. So we came very close at that point, and we did not take out the previous high. So this move now should, unless I get stopped out here, which is really close, should continue pushing us up to take out the highs up above this high here. So the high of the previous 4-hour candles where they're likely going to. So this would have been could have been an opportunity for me to add to my position again. I just missed that. It was so close to taking me out. I was just thinking, maybe they're going to take me out first, because there are equal lows right there, and that might have been a chance for them to take that. My target is way up there. So really the target should be the high of this 4-hour candle. I might be pushing it a little bit to get more out of it, but we shall see here. So if I mark the high of that 4-hour candle, that would be this. That would be the target. So let's see how price reacts when we get there to that high. This is the 4-hour candle high right there. Now we've got a series of equal lows here, so it is possible for them to come down and take these lows before they continue. So I could be in a bit of jeopardy here with my stop being so tight. Let's see, I'm using the there's a gap here, and I'm using the low of that, the start of the gap. So we haven't closed below that gap yet. So we're still okay. Just wicks.
On the second chart, it looks like it would like to go down one more time.
Yeah, because we're in a kind of a fourth wave area. So I'm kind of thinking maybe I should hide my stop below this low here just to be a little more careful. It's going to be a close one, that's for sure. If they take that out, I am gone. But I could always get back in, so it's not that big of a deal. But you have to be careful about putting your stop too tight on when you're trailing. Yeah, it's a tough one. Looks like they might just leave without messing with me here. Okay, I'll just stick to those 20 and see. All right, so we're taking out the high, so that's a good sign. So we could still get another retrace here at this point. So we take that high, we could get a retrace back and continue bouncing off this gap. They're giving me a chance to get in. Again, at this point, this is basically they're saying, hey, you have an opportunity to get back in if you want to at this point. So I could take that opportunity and buy some more.
That high.
See if they come back to middle of that gap. Okay, that's pretty good. So I'll buy some more here. So now I'm in negative with my stop. So I need them to go back above these highs now, and then I can move my stop into almost positive there, or break even area or something like that. Okay, we should bounce now. Don't want to take out this low at all. So the gap is holding. This gap is holding price. Not really, actually, because it did take out close below here. So the gap is sort of nullified based on that. So are these equal lows still in play? Maybe they might decide to take them all. So we're getting a choppy area. We got 1, 2, and now we go into this chop. So I could get taken out here, unfortunately, but I don't really want to move my stop if I don't have to. I could hide it below this candle here and give it a bit more breathing room. But I take a big risk there of a bigger loss, right? So See if it will hold here. Just a quick push to the highs would be great. Okay. Come on.
They're playing that as a wave 4 area, it seems like.
Okay, I'm going to do a partial real quick here, even though it's not a huge amount, but just to take a little something off again, reduce my risk. Okay, we're getting that nice move now. All right, so I've got double what I had before and for the final push. So that works out quite nicely. So we're going to get a gap here, so that will help continue us pushing us up to the upside here. Okay, so we've got a gap again, so that's a good sign if this gap will hold. That would be this new gap here. Move my stop into positive, just to not have a loss. So my target is still there. Might be a little bit greedy reaching for that high, but we'll see here. 2, 3, 4. We could just stop at this point and turn back. So have to be careful here. So, is that reachable? Definitely does look reachable. Okay, I can bring my stop up a little bit more, lock in a little bit more profit. Bring it right up. Good. Nice move here. Up a couple grand on that. So we're reaching in the high
stuff now.
Yeah, so we're taking out that high here and reaching for the 4-hour high. So can we break through the 4-hour high? And continue on. This might be the stretch that I might be expecting too much at this point, but so if we can get another gap, looks like we're getting a gap again. So will this gap hold? That'll give us a nice push through and continuation. So we are getting a nice little gap there. Okay, so I can move my stop up again and put it into positive. Okay, bigger positive amount. Okay. All right, so this could be the terminus. This could be the end of the move here. So we might not go any higher. So they've taken out the high. We've taken out the 4-hour high. This could stop us. Or we could continue pushing straight up for a bit more for those other equal highs. So which one will it be? So from the 15-minute standpoint, we really should be going for these highs. So this would be the next high here. So that is definitely in sight to take those highs. So beautiful move here. Catching the 1, 2, 3 at that point. The sweep, retrace, same pattern, just like here, sweep and sweep and retrace entry. That was a nice move. Missed that unfortunately, but caught it back on the retrace, which was a deeper retrace than we expected, but still worked out quite nicely. Got an entry right in here, and I've been writing up ever since. So just a really nice, beautiful structure going on here from the lows. So we're pushing up nicely. So again, I'll just keep moving my stop up to lock in the profits, but I don't want to bring it too tight because they can quickly take you out with a wick. So that's pretty good there, just below the gap. All right, so how far am I? Okay, I'm still a distance away. I'm about 40 handles away from this high. So my ultimate target. So Tesla must be doing a similar move at this moment in time.
Yeah, it's long.
It is.
I'm long Tesla right now.
Excellent. Yeah, that's great. So it's the same, almost the exact same thing on Tesla. We had the 1, 2, 3 that took us up. Deep retrace.
Yeah, got it.
Very deep retrace. Then a sweep.
Yeah.
Sweep, retrace, and you catch that entry and you're good to go.
Yeah, I got it.
Excellent. Really nice setup. So the NASDAQ and Tesla move almost in sync. So you can play either one. And the S&P, of course, is similar. So the same type of move. How's NVIDIA doing today? NVIDIA is up a little bit. NVIDIA is battling back. NVIDIA says, I'm down, but I'm not out. So yeah, this is where buying opportunity for the smart money, as they say. You want to be buying. Here's our 1, 2, 3. That's on the 15-minute time frame. So they sweep 1, 2, 3, and this is a big buying opportunity at really low prices for NVIDIA. So we should be heading back up 125 area in no time here. So looking pretty good there. All right, we're still going. Okay, we're kind of going sideways a little bit. don't want to move my stop up again at this point. I need to break above the high before I would look at moving my stop up at this point, because they can just wick it now and take me out. But this gap is holding us up at this point, so we could bounce from it, but I'd like to just see them continue. Okay, that's good. Good sign. We get go above that high. Now we need another gap here. That's beautiful. Nice move. So I can bring my stop up a little bit tighter now to that level. So we're getting closer and closer to target. So this was the first set of highs at this line. So will they stop there, or will they continue up to my target? We've got gaps. Another gap going to be forming here in less than 30 seconds. So we might just push right through and take out those highs. That'd be great.
Good day, gentlemen. Are we expecting Bitcoin to reach new highs?
Ooh, Bitcoin is up at 87,000 right now. So what would be new highs? New highs would be above 95,000. So that would be quite a stretch at this point for today. Anyway,
a nice 1, 2, 3 on a 4 hour.
Let's see. Oh, you're looking at the bigger picture, eh? Yeah, it's it'll be a stretch for today, but possible. You know, you can never say never with Bitcoin, right? I can take a look at Bitcoin here. I just wanted to see if we're gonna make it to this high here. I'm gonna move my stop up a little bit more just in case. Go to about $3,000 here. Okay, so to try and let's see how Bitcoin's looking here for you, Marquis. On the daily. Okay, let me get rid of this. Okay, so on the daily, there's even a 1, 2, 3 as well, right? There's a large 1, 2, 3. So bear with me one sec. Okay, so on the 4 hour, like you're saying, so if you're calling this whole thing a 1, 2, 3, and
on Thinkorswim, it doesn't even have like the little shuffle in there. It's just a gap.
So this would be, you know, what we always look for, the sweep, the move back up, the retrace, and now we're getting that push out. So you're looking for price possibly to take out this high today.
Well, no, I mean like should we be expecting it to reach all-time highs, especially with the recent announcement of it being added to the reserve?
Yeah, I would think so. I would think that kind of news will propel this, because we're at lows here. It's in 79,000, 78,000 area. So this is a buying opportunity. You know, the smart people are going to be buying with these prices, because we've been in a, if I go to the weekly and look at it, we've been in this fourth wave. So there's our, and again, the same thing holds 1, 2, 3 there, and we get this move up, and we've just been chopping, and then we drop down to this low, to these lows, back into this gap. So the expectation is that we should push out of here and take out these highs. So that would give us, you know, but it's going to take a while, of course, right, for that to happen. But that would be the expectation, certainly, based on our structure and what we know. You know, we chop through here, get a 1, 2, 3. We chop in through here. We're going to get a 1, 2, 3 and continue. So that's what I would be expecting. So yeah, I would be looking for new highs on Bitcoin, and we could be up there. These are weeks. within next couple months or less. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So we got on the daily a beautiful 1, 2, 3 bottom here. So that's going to propel us out of here in a nice third wave. On a 4 hour, that big huge 1, 2, 3. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3 right in here. So of course on this is on the 4 hour. So we don't really have a 4 hour 1, 2, 3 at this point yet. But we do have it on the 1 hour. So if I go to the 1 hour time frame, I have a 1, 2, 3 that's formed. Actually, it still hasn't even really formed. So we've got the move up. So we're looking for that kind of move here. So it's forming on the lower time frames. The 15, we got that 1, 2, 3 right there. So the 15 is giving us that. And then we get a retrace and continue. That type of thing. All right, so it looks like my NASDAQ is very close to target here. And look at that, within a tick or two of, beautiful. So that was an awesome entry and awesome trade and good managing of the trade by moving my stops up without getting taken out. And I was able to add to the position and get a bit more profit out of it as well. So that came out to some nice profits there on that move.
But would you say that Tesla's topping out?
Let's take a look at well, we're right at, so on the 15-minute here, we're right at those highs. So I would kind of expect a move back down at this point, but they can certainly continue straight up, but it's a good spot to take the profit. So Tesla is different. We don't have, this will be the next high that that they're likely heading for. So do we have enough pump to get there?
What level is that?
That's the 285.
Okay.
But that's might be a stretch. So let me just see how on the 5-minute, if we have anything so on the 5-minute, it's still the 285. So it looks pretty good. It looks like we could make it there. There's a gap there from this morning, the opening gap from yesterday and this morning. So they're going to go and take out that gap.
And what level is that?
That's the 283. Okay. Between where we are right now and 285 there's a gap though between 278 and 282. So we could see a little bit of a bulk here, but it should continue pushing. I would think to the upside.
Yeah, I'm using trend lines to keep me in play.
Yeah, and that will keep you in. All right, so that's a beauty move on the NAS. So we could see a pullback. So if we get a pullback on the NAS, we could see a pullback on Tesla a bit too. But I don't think it's going to be a dramatic one at this point. But it's possible, of course. Anything's possible. So we've got our structure now: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I would be expecting some kind of a pullback. Maybe even coming back down to take out these lows in here before we continue pushing again. It doesn't have to be that deep, but we'll see. I'll put the fib on this move. So 50% would take us back down into this area here. So that's totally possible for us to get a retrace back into this area. Beautiful setup. Can't even emphasize that enough. How really nice a setup that was, and we could have made off even better on that overall, but if we had caught that first move, because I was just missed it by a few seconds. Remember. This first move here would have been a great play to just to here, take some profits off, and then catch the retrace and jump back in again and catch this move. So that was such a lovely setup. And if I look to the left here, is there something to the left? No, there isn't anything over there really. Wow, thought there might be something over here to this high. So it would have to been a quick exit at that point, and then big retrace. So they might not come all the way down, but you kind of, you know, sometimes you have to expect that they could come back. Sometimes it's just a little blip and they continue. So this high could again be taken and we could continue, but right now we're breaking structure or a change of character. So we could get a 1, 2, 3 top now and we could come back down. So this is a potential play to the downside if you wanted to play it back to the downside. So after making all this profit, now you have to kind of think to yourself, okay, do I want to jump back into this market and take a risk play to the downside? Counter trend, you know? Yeah, you can, but all depends on how you look at it. If you want to sit on your laurels, then that's fine. Tomorrow's another day and so forth. So I'll just point out the opportunities. If I think it's worthwhile, yeah, maybe I'll take it. But so we have let me just make this a little bigger. Okay, so we have a breach. So it's the same thing. We have a sweep here, move down. So we sweep, and then we get a retrace. We're going back into an inverted gap right there. So it is a sell, and that would. Nothing would be wrong with taking that trade to the downside at that point. Tough play, though. And the reason it's a tough play is that, yes, they could come down, but they could also hang around for a while, too. So.
What do you see as the upside potential, Lennox?
For
NAS, Tesla.
Okay, so for the NAS, so looking at this from a daily perspective, actually, let me go, yeah, so this was what we were looking at yesterday, that we'd come back, possibly take out all these lows, and we did, and come down into this gap, and that would be our last line of defense before they took out these lows, and hoping that we wouldn't take out these lows. So that occurred. They would just wick into the gap, and then big rejection here. So it's a good sign that this was bottom, and we were going to turn around now and continue going back up. So if that's the case, then we're looking to take out these highs up at the 22,200 area. So that would be similar with Tesla. So let's take a look at Tesla here. on the daily. This big drop right back into this gap, same like the NAS, and that's what we were looking at. We looked at this 5-wave move down, and that culminates into this gap, and we're almost dead center in the gap. This is perfect. So this should be bottom, and we should get a nice push that should take us back up to take out these highs up at the 490 area. So that will be the trajectory and the potential for Tesla. So good news all around, I would think, for Mr. Musk.
The VIX has been running pretty high, Peter. It was 25 this morning. It's down to about 22.7 right now. But Trump is giving his speech tonight, and I guess everybody's going to be trying to figure out what that's going to mean for the immediate market.
Okay, so I have an inverted gap that we're right in at this point. So can we hold in that inverted gap and push us down, taking out these lows? That's kind of what I'm looking for here. So let's see if it does occur. The inverted gap is holding currently, but
Yeah, it's kind of a tougher call right
yeah,
now.
that's why I didn't want to take it at this point, because yes, I reached these highs and everything looks good, but there's nothing that says that we couldn't push higher at this point, right? It's been in a very strong move, but we could push higher.
It could push lower first, too.
Yeah, but I was looking for a little retrace first, so
Yeah.
That's why I'm calling this. But it doesn't mean that they have to do that. They might, they might be okay just accumulating here and then continue. There's some liquidity sitting here, of course, and lots of liquidity sitting at this area. So that's why I thought we could get a drop down back down to this area even before they continue the onslaught to the upside. But and like I said, they could push sideways here for a while as well. So yeah, it's a lot of accumulation going on. So if they accumulate, then they're going to manipulate and move back up. So
I've got my 2 days worth of stuff, so I'm going to sit on my hands for a while.
would Tesla be spinning its wheels
I
now?
bought into Tesla.
Sorry?
I bought back. I took my profit on Tesla, but I bought back in.
Bought back in, yeah. So Tesla did what I'm expecting the NAS to do, a little pullback. I mean, I would have thought we'd go a little deeper than that even. They swept and then sweep again. You would think that we might have gotten a little bit of a pullback, but you see they're moving up. So that could be what the NAS is going to do as well. And that's why I was a little hesitant about going in, especially after you make some nice profits. You don't want to give it all back, give any of it back really. So yeah, that's why I hesitated about taking that trade. It's a possibility that they could come down, but also a possibility that they could continue.
Yeah, it looks like they want to continue a bit too.
Yeah, we're not getting much of a down move here at all.
No. I mean, the 5-minute chart looks like it's a rocket ship to the moon. Especially with Heiken and Ashley.
Yeah, so they're not coming down any further. So they're doing the same thing as Tesla is doing. So Tesla is a bit ahead of the NAS. Interesting. So I've got the two charts side by side here, Tesla and what are they? This is GBP. This is euro and the dollar. This is Bitcoin and the Dow. Okay, so I can use the NAS and Tesla. I'll put Tesla. This is Bitcoin on the NAS, but I can put Tesla and the NAS on the 1 minute. And you can see Tesla is way ahead of the NAS. NAS is just breaking that high now, and Tesla is gone already. So good on you to get back in and continue, because that was a potential thing that they could do and continue up. So yeah, there's a lot of strength here.
Yeah, that's a lot of strength.
So this, because they're okay, so we've taken that. Let me just mark the highest high. So I didn't go to the highest high for my target. I could have reached for that high there. So now that we take this high, it is possible now that we could get a pullback. So this is again the same thing. We get this will be considered a sweep. This move up, we get a pullback, and then we continue. So you'd see a pullback here after taking these highs. So be careful with Tesla in that sense, Peter, because they can come up to this high here at 285. That's 280, yeah, 285 essentially, yeah, on the dot. And we could get a pullback from there. So we could hit that high and then get a pullback.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
So based on the pattern overall, I can see 1, 2. Is this whole thing just a 3 and this just a 4? And we would come down to take out these lows one more time. That is also a possibility here, because this is what controlling the move down. We could just come to this area and turn back, all the way back down, take out these lows one more time. That would be a nasty, if they did that, certainly. I'd rather see them do this and bounce, but we do have 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3. So this could be just a fourth wave that we're in. And we could certainly come back down one more time, take out these lows. So we have to look at all the possibilities, and that is one of the possibilities. Of course, I want to see them turn here and continue to the upside if we get that pullback. But yeah, this is also a possibility, and that is a possibility because the big boys have the money to go down and take lots of stops here, right? So they have the money to go and push price back down, grab some more cheap orders, and then push. So always have to be looking at all the possibilities. As much as it looks like this is the bottom, it is an equal low, and so equal lows are always suspect. Equal lows, equal highs are always a little suspect. See the S&P. S&P's gone above that high quite a bit, but you can see for the S&P, it has a long way to go to reach these highs, whereas the Nasdaq has already reached those highs and is going above it. So we've gone through that no problem, just like butter at this point. So are we done now? We could just get a wick here, but we've got a very strong 4-hour candle. We've taken out previous two 4-hour candle highs. So very, very strong. So we would expect the next candle to continue pushing to the upside at this point. There's no reason for us to, be getting a huge move back down to this level based on the 4-hour candles. Now I want to look at Tesla one more time from this standpoint, just looking at the 4-hour candles. And Tesla is a little different. You can see this, it'll have a tough time taking out this previous 4-hour candle. Took out the previous, but the previous one to that previous one, third one back. It might be a stretch for them to take out that high. So it's a little different on the NAS. So we could be getting a turnaround at this point now. So this might be the play to the downside here. Let's see what I've got. I've got a inverted gap here. So the question is, are we done? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very quickly. Yeah, we could be done. Sweep, retrace back in. We touch that inverted gap. We get another retrace back up. That would be a sell. So we're getting that touch. So very nice looking sell here to come back down and take out those, take out these lows. And we've got a gap here, an inverted gap as well. Very tempting sell, that's for sure.
Yeah, the S&P seems to go down.
S&P is dropping faster.
But almost looks like a 1, 2, 3 top there.
Let's look at them both together and see how they look. So yeah, we've got this similar looking pattern. So a big gap, touch into the gap, nice drop. Yeah, I mean, if I were a betting man, I would be in on that entry there. So we come down, take these lows here.
Yeah, it could take a bunch out, yeah.
And continue down. So
I got out of my Tesla trade.
probably a good thing.
It's going down.
Might be, might have reached its peak there. So we got to 281. not bad. So they came shy of the 285, but it still looks like, potential to get up there in any case. So there isn't really anything that they came to here. Quite interesting. Maybe on the lower side.
Is it a good short right now?
I'm sorry?
Is it a good short right now?
It's a tough call. You've made some profits going up. Maybe it's best to rest on your laurels for a bit. It could come down, certainly. It looks like that's the case, but it all depends on your greed factor, I guess, Peter.
Yeah, pigs get slaughtered,
Yeah.
and I'm a fat pig.
Yeah. I jumped in my other account into it on this move to the downside, but I didn't do it in here. Just want to kind of watch it and see what it does here. But I've made a little bit of profit so far. This is me. It's a tantalizing sell that right there. So we got the sweep. Everything's in alignment. So we need to break this low here to really give us a good confidence. Yeah, maybe we could come down. But I jumped in, at this point, caught this little move, made some profits, and looking for it to come down, take out the lows, give us a bigger retrace, and then we could see a bigger fall here. That's possible. So can we take this low? That's our time. Okay, so we were in from 2 o'clock. I totally forgot about the algo, but 2 o'clock kicked in right in this area. So is this an algo? Not really. So we could.
Not really.
Yeah, we could possibly see an algo move coming up, or we might not even get one. But
it's almost a stair step down move.
Yeah, I mean, 2 o'clock came at this area here, so yeah, not much of an algo move here, but we could see one coming to the downside possibly to come back and take out these lows down here. But it's a little tepid. There's not a big drop all of a sudden, so there's still some strength in this market here.
Yeah, Tesla might be swinging up.
Still a little bit of pressure. I mean, we do have a 1, 2, 3 top, so we could continue down. So Tesla needs to take out these lows. So that's totally possible, and then we could do that and then come back down. So that's sort of pseudo head and shoulders, if that works out, right?
Although I see possibly a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 bottom on the 1 minute chart right now. And price is going up.
If you're looking at it in this way.
On the 1 minute chart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't really look at it in that way, but because that's part of our move to the upside. So I wouldn't look at this as a 1, 2, 3 to go up. But I would be looking more that we would turn around and continue back at this point. So there is a gap here on Tesla. So if we close above that gap, then it's definitely possible that we could continue up. But this gap might hold as resistance and push us back down.
Or it might be forming a 1, 2, 3 top.
Yes. So the similar gap here on the NAS. So might just be resistance and then push back down here.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
So you can see we're forming a head and shoulders now.
On what time frame?
The 1 minute.
Okay, let me have a look. Yeah, I get that.
So on both Tesla, oh, that's the S&P. Sorry, let me go to Tesla. So it's GBP, losing it here. NAS and Tesla, yeah. So we're both. So the Tesla's head and shoulders is a bit warped, but the NAS is a little more symmetrical, as it were. So we'll see this drop here now. If we can't go through this gap, then that's what's going to happen more than likely. So a neckline like this compared to a neckline like this, quite interesting. So a steep neckline like that, Peter, on a head and shoulders on Tesla, compared to a more, less steep neckline, as it were, on the NAS. The incline is not as steep.
Well, the distance down, if it is a head and shoulders, is from the head down to the neckline and then projected south.
Projected south. So we're looking at that same. So that would take us approximate back to these lows here, somewhere in that area.
Yeah, I suspect that you're right, that we're in wave 4 and that we're going down. I suspect that that's a good guess.
It's a possibility. So the key here is this gap. If we close above it, then we might be heading straight up. If we cannot close above it, then
Yeah, well, we're getting some strength now. It looks like we have a 1, 2, 3 bottom on the 1 minute chart.
So you see how they just came into it, but they just wicked into it. So that could be the ploy here. They just do a wick.
Very interesting.
still looking for a drop here.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree.
Yeah, they didn't close above or anything like that, so it's just that wick. So we're more than likely going to come down, take out the lows.
Which lows?
The current lows.
Current lows, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I get it. Roger Dodger.
Yeah, we're getting a nice setup for that.
Yeah, it's still a tempting sell. I'm still in my position here. But,
If I didn't have my 2 days gains, I would get in here, but I'm going to sit this one out.
My hands are getting sore from sitting on them, George.
yeah, I don't like sitting on my hands because it's too restrictive. We're in a battle. You always have to be on guard, sitting,
Yeah, the problem with Tesla is, if you get in on the wrong side of the trade, it moves very quickly against you, and it's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's how this game works, eh? It's going to get. That's why the stops have to be strategically placed. Otherwise, you could be in deep troubles.
Well, I just use mental stops.
And the way these two guys, Musk and Mr. Trump, are talking all the time, you have to be careful about mental stops because it just takes one word and things can change in a heartbeat, right? So.
Well, as soon as I put a trade on, I set up to go to no op the trade. So,
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready to get out if I make a wrong decision. But even then, it can go against you very quickly.
Yes, it can. Yeah, this is not coming down in a hurry.
I know, and part of it is that the volatility is still very high, which means there's a lot of buyers and sellers battling it out.
Yeah, I'm surprised that we're not coming down in a little more hurry. We've
They've
swept that high. We
character
should be
a little bit. I mean, I still think that what we said is correct, but it's a timing situation right now.
So we're back. Okay, so they're taking out that high. I'm surprised they're taking out that high.
That high, then it's a different.
Oh, so that's quite interesting. So we could get that closure now above the gap. Interesting.
Yeah, I see that. It's just seesawing back and forth.
Yeah, so there's a lot of strength there.
Close to that last hour too, which is.
So again, we get a wick. So that's just a sweep now. So they've swept these guys here. So I can see the structure overall. And so now they would have to take out this low in order to give us that move down. So let's see if they do that. I'm following it on the seconds chart, and the seconds chart's telling me that could be a possibility here.
Oh, we're 5 minutes to macro too.
So it looks like we're going to push to take out that high again, interestingly. That they're going to take that high one more time. So if they do that, then that high could be in jeopardy.
That changes the character of this.
That would change everything. But if this is just a sweep and we're done, then we could come back and take this low and continue down. So
this is too much putzing around at this point.
that was why I was hesitant about going in, and I did go in. I've made a little bit of profit, but I'm kind of thinking maybe I should exit this because it's just a bit messy here. So they're going again to take out the high. So this is quite interesting. And make this a little bigger just to see what they're doing here. on a larger scale. Okay, so they are going for the high. So that's, yeah, so that says a lot right there.
Not only that, they have.
Yes. So my expectation was that we would come back to take out the lows, but they did not do that. So then that puts the high in jeopardy. And that's what they've done. They've taken out the highs. So this is now a 1, 2, 3 bottom, but we didn't get a sweep. So it was just a quick move. So we could get a run for a little bit. But again, they've taken out that high. We've got a 1, 2, 3 bottom. And so we could move up a bit higher. So Tesla could now be testing that 285.
I haven't looked at that yet.
It hasn't done it yet. Tesla still hasn't gotten through that gap. Interesting. So we do have a 1, 2, 3 on Tesla. So we could see that and push. That takes us up to 285.
Yeah, I don't
But it's a
see.
bit.
I don't see that's on the one. Oh yeah, I see. Oh yeah. Well, it is and it isn't.
It's tepid. That's for sure.
It's really screwing up my mind.
They have to come and take, just like the NAS did, taking that out. You see, Tesla now is not leading like the NAS was. So the NAS earlier was behind, and Tesla was leading, but now it's changed. So you see what they've done. They've just gone and swept the highs. They haven't really, with any gusto, kept going. So it looks like it's a possibility that they could keep going. Now we're getting a double 1, 2, so we could keep going. But yeah, it's a lot of playing around going on right now. And how's our time? We're at coming up to the last hour now. We're coming into a macro. Let me just go back to the NAS here. This is quite interesting. So this is just basically a sweep at this point.
Yeah, I don't like the character when the head and shoulders on, I'm looking at Tesla now, the head and shoulders is pointing with the neckline pointing higher rather than lower. And
yeah.
That can be a difficult situation.
Not much play on Bitcoin at this moment in time. Bitcoin is struggling as well. There was a nice run on Bitcoin. Nice move there. That was from 130. So beautiful move there on Bitcoin at the 130 mark. So right after lunch, I guess you'd call that lunch, finishing the end of the lunch period. We get this nice move to the upside. Now they're sort of chopping away, accumulating again.
Yeah, Tesla's
Struggling, eh?
Yeah, can't make up its mind.
Yeah. So you just wait. So there's the NAS again. We're trying. So
My guess is that Tesla's going down.
I would need to see a breach of this current low here. If I could get that low taken out, maybe it might be a move back down. Possibility.
Yeah, Tesla just broke the demand trend line, so
yeah, it's struggling. But this could be just an accumulation area that accumulates some more to push to the upside before the end of the day. So we have to see some things occur here to give us the signal that yes, price is either going to continue going up or turn back around.
yeah.
So it's just a little bit of patience is necessary at this point.
Yeah, I think if Tesla breaks the current demand trend line, it's going to come careening down. But it looks like it could still form a 1, 2, 3 bottom. Strange.
Well, they're not making it easy, so I'm going to go up to the higher time frame, look at it. So very strong on the 5, strong on the 15, strong on the 30. But again, we've just cut across this high, so that could be portending the end of this move up. And that would give us our structure, you know, the beautiful structure that we have here in this move. So we would be expecting this move and this move. And that's what that would be my expectation. However, we are at a crucial point here where they could go up a little higher, possibly. They could come up to this. There's an order block here, so it's possible we could come up there before we get this rejection. But there's certainly this breach of the previous highs is giving us a pause, and that's what we're doing right now. We're just kind of in a pause state. So accumulation is what's going on here. So if they're going to accumulate, they're going to manipulate and then continue, right? So what is the plan of attack here?
I think Tesla's going up myself.
You broke your supply line.
Well, the demand trend line's holding, and it's showing strength. I'm looking for it to break 280.63.
So I got a supply line here, and we've broken through that, but that gap is still in play. That original gap over here, inverted, is still in play. So it's holding price back. So our new supply line would be here. Yeah, this is very tough going right now.
I would say if it breaks that candle over to the left, the high of that candle, that would be very telling. See, it's very strong. 280.63.
This is no longer in play. Yeah, this is very tough. tough stuff here right now. Got to really be careful. It's a lot of manipulation going on.
Well, if you draw the demand and supply trend lines, the current ones, you get a bullish triangle and an uptrend.
Yes. That's what I've got for Tesla currently. Just like that. But that gap is still holding price at bay, interestingly.
Yeah, price is going to come out of the apex of that triangle and probably go up.
Yeah, it's a tough one because again, I hesitated about going in because once you've made, you make this nice profit to this level, it's really tough to get into a play at this area because you're basically taking a risk that you could get chopped up.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
this is exactly
I
what
see
they're
it's
doing.
losing
So,
momentum, very much so on the NAS, but it's still fighting it.
it looks like they want to push to the upside, like
Yeah, that's
Peter's
exactly the
suggesting.
way
So
I'm looking at it. It's not convinced that it hasn't gone up high enough.
The demand trend line for Tesla is really holding well.
This candle could be the one that just changes the whole story.
possible.
Draw a line on here.
Yeah, very nice move.
Looks like we now have a 1, 2, 3 bottom on Tesla.
Yeah, that last big green candle on the NAS just told me that we may be totally wrong and that there's more up move to go.
Yep.
We're looking at it from the 5. Yeah, still a lot of strength there. 15. Yeah, still a potential move to the upside. So where would they be going to now would be the question. Breaking through this. So I was looking for that pullback. We're not getting any, not much of any. So the next, and we're sitting inside a large gap at this point. We're coming up into the midpoint of that gap.
Tesla's just made its move.
Yes, Tesla has broken to the upside. And so has the NAS. And we're coming into the midpoint of this gap here. So is that it in there, or do we go through? So if we can get through this gap, then the next level of potential resistance would be this high. So that's what we're looking at currently. All right, so back to the 1 minute. So more sweeps, really. I'm calling them sweeps because I'm a bit skeptical about this move to the upside.
The thing is, we're just sitting at a level going back to Monday at 4 o'clock. So it's tough Tough to say because the next high on the hourly chart is 30 handles higher.
I just went long at 281.59.
You waited quite a bit to get in there, Peter.
Well, it broke the trend line, and then I thought, well, I wanted it to break above 281.47, which it did, and I got in at 281.59. So
It's pushing now. I'm on the NAS.
So we're at midpoint of the gap now, right? Dead at midpoint. Could have played this to the upside here.
Starting on the downside of the macro too.
Yeah, we're into that 10-minute to noon to 3 o'clock macro. We're looking for another push up, but we're right at the midpoint of the gap, so we could be. We've got a 1-2 here. We could be one more push, but we might not be able to close above that high. Yeah, very tepid here. Still very tricky.
Gentlemen, I'm hitting the hay.
You've had it, Martin.
Yeah, I'm totally done for the day. Okay, see you
Thank you,
tomorrow.
sir.
And thanks.
Good
for-
night, Martin.
Yeah, good night. All right.
Take care,
Bye-bye.
Martin. All right. One down.
This is a big down move now.
Mm-hmm.
It's appearing that it wants to say that that's the top it was looking for.
I think it still has another push to go, so don't panic out yet, Peter.
You think you have another push higher?
Yeah.
Well, it satisfied my 1 hour high,
We've
so
got a 1-2, a 1-2, so we've come back into this area. We need to bounce out.
let's see what happens.
If they don't
I'm
bounce out,
starting
then
to see a lot more negative check marks now. I mean,
bounce
it's
back
easy
out.
for it to come around on these check marks too because they're not that dynamic. But this looks more convincing than the last peak did.
So the difference with Tesla is that, yes, we got the breakout at that point. However, we've swept that high. So now that we've swept that high, I would expect that they would have done this one more time to sweep one more time, but they're not. So we're coming back too deep into our 1-2.
Tesla's
area
coming
here.
back too.
So not liking that they come down into
Yeah,
this area.
Tesla is changing its.
Yeah. So this is how they manipulate and fake.
Yeah, I think we're.
I would have thought that we would
magic
bounce
period.
one more time at this point, but they're not doing that. So we're coming again too deep into our
much too deep.
area here.
I
So
almost hit my -1 standard deviation of my channel.
It'll be a struggle for them to move back up now to take out this high because we've come back down so low.
Yeah.
So this would more likely breach. We get a retrace and a continuation to the downside at this point, rather than a continuation to take out the high because of this sweep. So you have to be maybe looking to exit back up in this area if you can get back up there, Peter.
Yeah,
they're-
it's just popping through my lower one standard deviation.
That's how they play everybody. They mess everybody up by making it look like it's a go. Everybody piles in, so everybody piles in. You know, all their stops are down here, and it's a good way to manipulate
It's
everyone.
the time of day to do that kind of thing.
Again, it's still possible that they could go up and it's equal highs. They could still go through and take that high, but they've come down. They only wicked on the NAS. They only wicked into here, so this isn't so bad on the NAS. So it is possible for us to take that high. I need to look at both the NAS and S&P at the same time at this point to see if we have divergence of any kind. No divergences. So everything is basically in tune. They're both in tune with each other. Equal highs. Well, this is equal highs, relatively equal highs here. So,
well, right now they could be building a new right shoulder, which would give them a neckline that is more consistent to what we would be looking for.
they could take this this high out one more time on NAS, and might not do it on the S&P. That would give us divergence. So we'll see how that plays out here. Or we'll just fall short and continue it back down to take out these lows. So Tesla is a totally different. If I look at Tesla, look at the wrong one. Here's Tesla and the NAS. So Tesla.
NAS is different than Tesla right now.
Yes. So we see how the NAS is coming really close to taking out that high. Tesla is still trying to get up
it's
there.
still working on it.
It might give you a reprieve there, Peter. But I said to hang in there with it because you could get that pushback. So the NAS is looking to take out the high. Tesla is still.
Tesla's trying.
That gap is holding
That's
Tesla
gonna
back.
have a problem doing it.
So NAS takes out the high. So the S&P is, so we're getting divergence right now on the NAS and the S&P.
NAS is still showing a heck of a lot of strength. Tesla is trying to, but it doesn't have quite the same level of strength.
So is this divergence going to hold? And if so, then the S&P is weaker at this point.
Right now we're having bear divergence with CCI on NASDAQ, but we're not having the same thing on Tesla.
Okay,
Tough
so
call here, tough.
another sweep.
NAS is showing that strength now.
S&P can't do it. So we're getting we still having divergence here. We're into the
S&P on the right.
We're at the end of the S&P's on the right. Yeah, we're at the end of the macro period.
The NAS is definitely the stronger one.
S&P is looking to take out the high. Okay, so S&P took out the high, so we don't have divergence anymore. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
And Tesla has taken out its high as well. So hopefully you hung in there, Peter.
yeah,
I did. Oh yeah,
Good.
not a chicken.
Good. Yeah, that was a possible
that was a
move
touch
there.
low here.
So we've got sweeps of the highs, and both are telling the truth, and that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave structure. So we've got a sweep again. So this could be a high. Tesla is up at 282.5 at the high almost. So pretty good move.
What's interesting on NASDAQ, the 5-minute Fibonacci is showing that we're still going up. I've got 4 candles with no tail. But I have a mixed bag.
So I'm still inside my gap, midpoint of the gap. So it's still holding in the gap. It's not convincingly going through at this point. So we could see a turnaround here. Could be at the top of this move now. So I can see my structure now playing out as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That could be it. We've swept. So a sweep here, retrace. That would present a sell. I would sell here at this point now after this move, since we're right in the midpoint of our gap area.
Are you talking about Tesla or NASDAQ?
The NASDAQ. Tesla might be a little different. Let's see. Tesla still looks quite strong. Yeah, so Tesla is gunning for that 285 that I was referring to earlier. So still looking to go and take out that 285 high. And from here we've got a 1, 2, another 1, 2, and so yeah, it looks like that should easily take us through to 285. So that would mean the NAS has a bit more upside to it to go. So you can hang in there to 285 almost there, Peter.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang on.
Possibly, you know.
Where do you see the 1, 2, 3s on the 5-minute chart?
Yes, on the 5-minute, I was looking at the 1, 2, 3. So on the 1 minute, it would be, of course, this first 1, 2, 3 here, and then it does another one, and then we're heading out again. This is a bit messy, this one, but they swept. They came back down to sweep, but they didn't take out these guys. So this was a nice little move on their part to take people out of their positions and then continue on. So having your stops too tight in here, you're in trouble.
Yeah, that's why I use mental stops.
Yeah, I get it.
Because they can't screw around with my mind.
Or your money. All right, so we're still inside the gap. Do we get a turn now? Or do we continue?
It's flattening out now, Peter. I don't know where you still in it, Peter?
I am.
It looks like we're flattening out now, so I guess I would be careful. But the NAS still seems to be stronger.
Yeah, still has room to go up. S&P. Let's see how Bitcoin's doing now at this point. Bitcoin making a little bit no, it's still a bit flat in here on Bitcoin, eh? So still sideways after that nice run. But sideways strength without huge potential move to the upside to come. So it would behoove anyone to get into Tesla if at all possible in this area, because it's going to be a big strong move out of here. So looking at Tesla, I would be looking for a breach of that high there.
That's Bitcoin.
Bitcoin, I should say. Sorry. Yeah, potential opportunity to go along. You want to see another retrace into this gap.
George, if you plot Tesla 15-minute Heikin-Achi, you see a nice projection.
Yeah, still going strong on Tesla there.
Yeah, Tesla's now getting strong again. It tried like crazy to pull it down, but it failed. Peter, you're very good at reading this Tesla chart.
Well, I try. Thanks, George.
That's why it's good to stick with one thing, you know, one or two things that you get really familiar with, and yeah.
Yeah, my no, that's an hour. Yeah, I've got 4 hours of Heikin-Achi up candles. Let's see what happens if I take this down to lower levels.
We have a nice 1, 2, 3 bottom on the Tesla 1 minute.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
30
got
minute.
the new demand line is very steep now.
Yes, it is. That's good observation on your part.
And new supply. So yeah, we're climbing quite the staircase now. Very steep. But looks good. Looks good. So looking for 285 target there. I could draw a line here. So that would be my target. So that's the third 4 hour candle close that we're heading towards. Amazing how that lines up so nicely.
Is that 285?
That's 284.97, so pretty close. If I've got that correct on the top, I think I might have. I can redraw one more time. Let me just see if I've got it dead on. It looks like I do. Yeah. So that line is at 284.97. So the high here was 284.97. So that's correct.
Yeah, quite a
target. So my calling it out from down here that we would get up to 285. Not bad, right? And that's where we're. The trouble was to get through this gap, the opening gap this morning, and yeah, we had a little bit of a hiccup there. It looked a little bit like they could push it back down first, but they said no, we're going to continue going up. So you go with them.
Well, that bullish triangle in the upprint really paid off.
Yes. So NAS is almost at the top of my gap. So the gap on the 15-minute, cutting through the gap. So the next stop then, once we close above this gap, would be the high here. So that would be the ultimate target. So very, very nice move. Again, I've gone in on my other account and I'm in going long. I did not take a trade in here again, but yeah, it was a bit scary in here for a little bit there that it could push it back down, but nope, they're going very strong.
We're at 283.49. $284.97. Here we come.
Yes, sirree.
I put my 5-minute Heikin-Ashi NASDAQ in the room, and I have circled down the bottom of it where we turned around and the color of the candles changed, and we also had that dash line in there as an 8 SMA moving average, and that changed over too, right around that same spot. And right now I am waiting for the penetration of the 8 moving average of a body of the upward candles or a red candle to say that we're finished with this move upward. That's been a good signal many, many times now. So I'm going to see if it works out here again.
Okay.
Because we've been thinking of this thing was rated for a failure any number of times on this huge up move, but the 5-minute has been saying that's not really true, because I just
I'm expecting a little bit of a pullback, but they're not giving us much. So there's just showing that there's a lot of strength in this move, and that's
yeah.
the bottom line, right?
Yeah, that's a steep demand line.
See, on my chart, even at the red candle at the midway point of the chart, it still didn't penetrate the 8 moving average. So it's saying that we're just having a little hiccup here. Just hold your horses. And now the candles are getting bodies are getting bigger. So this has a lot more up to go, it appears.
The 15-minute Heikin-Ashi is really holding up nicely, George.
Yeah. I'm looking at my 5-minute. No, I'm on a 3-minute now. Heikin-Ashi on Tesla. Let me change it to a 5-minute, because it really looks like what I was saying on the NASDAQ is holding true on Tesla. Okay. See if I can get this darn thing to work.
So looking for the ultimate target for NAS to hit this high here. So we're getting a bounce. So this is about 675, 680 to 780.
That's
So 100 handles. So that would not be such a bad buy at this point tough to buy here, but might take a stab at a run continuation here. Is it a worthwhile move is the question at this point. Could be, possibly. Wait for the next candle. We're down into the last half hour of the day, so I'll take a stab at this. I might be. The train is, long left the station, and I'm trying to catch the tail end of the train to the final destination here. Let's see if we does continue up. I won't put my stop too far away.
Peter, I put my 5-minute Tesla Heikin-Ashi in the room, and the dash moving average is which is in gray, is really pretty much hugging the 13 LWMA.
Thanks, George.
But this got its turnover.
Oh, after all that, they come back.
130.
So my stop was a bit too tight on that, unfortunately. So I have to redo that and give it a little bit more breathing room. So I'm still going to go back in, but my stop was a bit too tight. And
yeah, well, I'm still saying good, but it is showing that we are beginning to weaken on this, but that's probably because of the couple of red candles that we're getting on the 1-minute chart. The thing is, when you do get out on the 5-minute Heikin-Ashi of either an 8 crossover or the changing of the character of the Heikin-Ashi candles, you do lose a tiny bit at the top, but if you get out on the 1 minute, it at least will tell you a little bit later if you have confirmation on the 5-minute.
I put my stop at technically the right spot. Well, not really. I could have been a tad lower. Oh my, didn't matter. Yeah, still. So all my nice profits I made coming up now, I've given back a little bit of it by trying to get in to continue this move to the upside. So probably, like I say, a tough spot to try to get in because the train has left and is long into this ride. So it's a tougher area to get in.
Yeah, it really is. And at this point, I've got the wick and tail on the upward Heikin-Ashi, and now I'm forming a new Heikin-Ashi, and it is red, spinning top at this point.
So Tesla got to 284.35
with no wick. So
yeah, I'm out.
Kind of bad news.
Yeah. So we're sitting right at the very top of
this
that.
Is moving with a vengeance right now on the 1 minute.
So we're wicking on the gap, on that 30-minute, 15-minute gap. We're wicking, we're not going through it. So that could be my expectation that we could push one more time and take out that high might have been not so good on that. So
I'm not too strong in that kind of a move.
Right. All right, so we've got sweeps and sweeps. So I'd look for a retrace here for an entry to go short at this point now. So yeah, kind of was a little concerned that we were a bit high up in this move and that we could be possibly done. And sure enough, that was the case. So look how fast they've come back down. So it would have been a better entry to come short rather than going long.
And as I look at this now, with these quick down candles, the 3-minute Heikin-Ashi is indeed the better one to keep your eye on. See if that holds up on the Tesla.
Boy, Tesla's dropping like a rock. I got out at the right time.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, the same thing is true on the Tesla.
Looking for a retrace here now of this current drop. So you can see how quickly they've come back down to take everybody out.
You're not going to get a retrace yet. We are building lower CCI now, very strong ones. And my true strength is way down there at this point.
Yep, lots of fun.
Almost at the bottom of this move now, so we should get a push back to the upside.
I just got a second candle without a wick on it on the NAS. So that's kind of saying that we're not done yet. Boy, that would have been a nice move to be on that downward move.
Yes, sir.
Backwards.
Yeah.
We went from 700 down to 55.
Right. Yeah, it's quite the drop. All right, so now we need a turnaround at this point to go back up.
It's not looking like it's ready yet, though.
Next low is here.
Boy, did it ever drop.
Mm-hmm. So it's interesting how on the 15-minute that gap held, and we couldn't go and close above it. So that was the signal. All right, so could do a buy here now to go back up. I'm gonna go jump in to get my losses back here.
This buy might be temporary, Lennox.
Well, we're gonna get a push.
It's looking like a buy, but it hasn't proven itself yet.
Waiting for the next candle. Okay, so I'm in, going back up.
I'm not too sure yet. But yeah,
They could drop it a little bit more here, certainly.
no, that went down further. You don't have your fractal yet.
So they did come back and take out the low one more time. That was mean. All right, so we should go back up now.
You've got a lot of volume sitting around here. From 800 to 1,000 shares at each price level. So, okay, my 3-minute is showing that I still have no wick, but the candle size is almost half of the one before it. So that's indicating that we're turning up or in the process of turning up.
Yeah, looking to go back about 50% thereabouts on this retrace. So
That would make sense.
let's
It's-
see if we can make it.
So far, though, the down move is still strong. I don't have enough check marks to say that I should enter at this point. Which doesn't mean that you couldn't find a better entry, of course.
Okay, we're getting a 1, 2, 3 bottom now. So they swept it real quick, move back up, come back in. So we should go.
I'm looking for a signal that it wants to really test out this 1, 2, 3 bottom or not. So far, it's saying that we could easily go down as go up.
I want it to go up.
More of an emphasis to the downside.
They're going to take that low again. They might.
Oh boy, I should have gone short.
Yeah, you're right, Peter.
It was pretty quick. They were very quick about turning it around and taking everybody out that were going along. So they did sweep the low again.
Yeah,
they sweep the low again one more time.
That's what I mean.
They might take this low. So now we need to come back and take out this high. So it's still okay.
Well, so far, I'm still not negating going lower at this point.
Yeah, they can come through this low here, and that might be the sweep that they were looking for. So what they've essentially done is said, okay, all these guys who were buying, let's take them all out. And so this is the last ones that are left here. So they look like they want to take them out as well. So if that's the case, and I think that's going to be the case, I will add to my position to go back up.
My 3-minute has 4 solid down candles.
So I'm jumping in to go back up now.
We haven't hit bottom yet.
There's a gap there.
That's not a heck of a big gap, though.
No.
See, we're still going.
So if I'm going to, just to be safe, put a stop in, I would put my stop below that gap's low here. That's I should get a retracement here now. So are these guys good or what, eh?
Well, I haven't even begun to test the turnaround yet.
Uh-oh. They better not come down and get me. That's not good.
Yep, we're down. We just tagged the 200 SMA on the 1 minute.
Oh no, they're gonna take me out. No, that's not good. Wow, so they are not turning around at all.
Oh,
so they give us just a little blip and that's it. Yeah, I expected them to go up a little higher. And they said no, they're not even gonna do that. So that's a nasty. So we're taking out this low. And that's quite the
I posted my 1 and
Quite the
3
drop.
Heiken-Ashi, and I think you'll see why I've been saying sticking to the down direction.
This is a relentless move back down. So they're coming down, let's say approximately. See how far down they're going to come.
This is phenomenal. When I was talking about before, we were at 700 and we're now at 500. That's 200 pips. I mean, that's $4,000.
Yeah, 50% of the move of this move was at this point here, and they've come below 50%. We're down into 62% retrace. So we should be turning around. This should be sufficient for them to end this move.
I still don't have the signal yet. Even trying to.
I've got the signal now to go back into the upside. So I'm going to take it another stab at it here and go back. My second chart is saying yes, we're done. So this should be the bottom here.
I've got 5 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, down. Heiken-Ashi 3 minute.
So I'll give it another shot.
Well, as I say, even with this height that it's gone, it hasn't given me a good test that we're changing.
Okay, we were 7 minutes away from our macro, so it looks like our macro is going to.
This is the first time that we're
move.
even attempting a change in direction.
Yeah.
Now let's see if I get some follow through. The 3 minute Heiken-Ashi is saying that we're slowing down, but I'm still not getting follow through on the 1 minute. It's tempting it, but no follow through. It's trying to push it higher, but it's only halfway.
So I'll be looking for 50% again, move back up.
This is a key candle that we're on right now. And its direction of close is very key to the turnaround. And so far it failed. So it's up to this candle to become the positive mover. It's still only halfway. Heiken-Ashi has made a turn with this current candle, but I don't have it on my 1 minute chart.
What do you see on Tesla, George?
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 6 Heiken-Ashi 3 minute candles down, and it is still in a downward mode. I've got 4 dojis on my 1 minute chart, 5 dojis right now, which is current candle included, which may not be a doji at the end. So it's just flattening out. It has not tried to turn up yet. That's
They're
all.
not going very much of giving us much of a retrace here, interestingly. So it shows a lot of weakness.
The candle failed. The candle failed to give me another check mark that it's going up. So I have to say that we're still in a down mode. Peter, I'm going to copy this Tesla so you can take a look at what I'm looking at. It's in the room, Peter. Yeah, we failed altogether on the 1 minute Tesla to turn the corner.
They might be sweeping the low one more time on Tesla before they push it back up. We've got 3 minutes before the macro.
Tesla's performing in a similar manner. Actually, NASDAQ got more positive than Tesla did on the upward move, but both of them are now back into the downward mode.
Well, for the NAS, I was expecting a bigger retrace here, and then catching a move to the downside, but they're really
I can't say
holding
that
it
it's going
down.
to make a new low yet because it hasn't given me that much of an indication that it's going to.
So we're sitting at.
That wasn't going to be on a continuous upward move. And right now, the 3 minute NASDAQ bar is decidedly negative with no wick to it. So that's a bad signal. It's saying that we've got more down coming. There we go. We exceeded it.
A little sweep there. And we've got 2 minutes to go. Less than 2 minutes to go. Okay, so my expectation for a bigger bounce did not occur. So
that's a big possibility. But
where did they go to?
Peter doesn't. He has to hold it. You have to hold it overnight, Peter, if you want to do anything. I don't know if that's wise with Trump speaking tonight.
Still looking for a bounce here. So coming up to the macro in 1 minute.
Yeah, but
less than a minute. I'm looking for a bounce still. Back up.
No, but still, I don't have any good signs except even my 3 minute Heikin Nashi is still solidly down, and I don't even have a glimmer of hope yet on the 1 minute, other than down.
We got 20 seconds. So we're waiting for this 10 minutes to 4 o'clock macro in less than 10 seconds to start. And we could see a retrace of this move back to the upside here. That's what I'm looking for. It might be short-lived, or they might just continue straight down, but I'm looking for a move back up. Let's see if we get it. It doesn't look so.
Not what I would call a move up.
Wow, very interesting. They're just relentlessly down. So maybe we'll finally get it. We're coming into a gap here on the 5 minutes, so that might be it.
Yeah, Tesla did the exact same thing.
Yeah, I shorted Tesla again, George.
You have only 9 minutes.
Still coming down. No retrace whatsoever. Wow, amazing.
Okay, Tesla just hit a VWAP. That's the volume weighted moving average line.
So all the liquidity is down below.
Now I've got a second downward with no wick on the NASDAQ, and it's similar with the Tesla.
Very interesting. Not getting any retrace whatsoever. So you would think that they would have gone back up to take some of these guys who were selling out first before they would have dropped it. But they're saying, nope, we're just going to we're gunning for
Nope, we're still
the
gunning
buyers.
lower. In fact,
So-
gunning even further and further lower.
Yeah, very interesting move. So essentially, this is that move here is our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is our 1, 2, and now we're in a third wave heading down. So looking for that bounce, they didn't give me a big enough bounce to get me in a nice opportunity to get this sell. So it's missed.
So the stop held you to a small loss then,
No, I made some profits on that little move up, but
Oh, I see. Okay.
yeah, I was looking for a deeper retrace to get in to go short.
Yeah.
They didn't give me that. So
Tesla is going through its VWAP. And
that
this
is it. So
NASDAQ
that's a very
still pointing down. The candles are getting stronger on the Heikin-Ashi. We now have the longest Heikin-Ashi down candle.
Well, I got out. I covered my short at 271.49.
That looks good. Very good.
well, 4 or 5 handles there, Peter. 4 or 5 points.
I made $800 on.
Nice.
I caught part of the rundown. I wish I'd been more astute and gone on a short of the trend line break, but I finally jumped on board.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we have another NASDAQ no wick red candle. We're getting ready to test an upward break, but it has not occurred yet. But you do have fractal. But that's the only thing that is an upward check mark at this point.
They did not do what I was expecting. Giving me a bigger retrace here. That would have been.
Yeah, I know.
That would have been. My expectation was.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Deeper retrace and then an entry to go short. So
I
they're
was
very good here. They just kind of rolled it right over without doing that. So that's the way it is.
If the candle that just recently closed on the 1 minute was at least 2 to 3 times the size of it is now, we would have had a good check mark that we've turned around, but it isn't. I've got a half a check mark going now, but it's still nowhere near a guarantee.
Been a fun day.
So we're sitting at the 50% retrace of this entire move currently. We're right at 50%. So this entire move from high to low, we're right at the 50% mark. So we could still get a bounce here.
Yeah, well, I still have a half a check mark only on this. If I can't pull it up to a full check mark, it means that we're still in a downward mode.
Yeah. So we're what 4 minutes from the close. So they could push it up at the close into this area and then continued dropping it into Asia. That's a likely a possibility there that they might do that.
This is showing tremendous weakness at this point. I still have a half a check mark, but it's not able to bring along make it into a full check mark. You close that candle, which is a very indeterminate candle. Doji small spinning top. Still trying to change the check mark to a full one, but it is totally unsuccessful at this point. But it's looking like my 3-minute hike in Nashi might be a turnaround candle. So
I have to go, guys. So we'll see you tomorrow.
okay. Take care, Peter. See you tomorrow.
All right, Peter. Have a good rest of the day.
Yeah, good show, you guys.
Okay, thank you. Oh, Nonso has been with us today.
Good night, Peter.
Nonso, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Good evening from Nigeria. I'm fine.
Good evening. It's afternoon there in Nigeria?
No, it's evening here.
It's evening time. I would think so, yes.
I'm still
How are you, sir?
Full check mark.
I'm fine.
Good. Nice of you to drop in on us.
It's beginning to drop on us at this point.
All right, we're a couple minutes away from the close here, so we'll see if I'm still looking for a retrace here, but might be waiting forever for that, possibly.
Trying to turn the whole thing right around to go down. The only thing that's saying that we've got a problem is the 3-minute hike in Nashi is a narrow body spinning top right now. But if I get a big red down one, it would be curtains for going up.
It'll be interesting to see what they do at the close here in
I'm anxious to see that.
30 seconds here. I'm looking for a pop.
Yeah, that would make sense.
But
Because
we'll
it's
see.
tried like 3 times now. And this has been the strongest of the tries.
10 seconds to go here.
Okay. I still haven't changed my half a check mark. There's the bell.
There's the bell. All right, let's see. Did they pop it up?
Okay, it popped it up. It's possible that we will be changing it. It hasn't changed it yet. But
Tempting buy, I tell you right there, but
I
iffy.
understand that. That looks good. I've got a green candle going up. I would say if you had bought in there, that probably would be a good one.
Yeah, no, not too shabby.
It's too slow to even react to.
Will they come up and take out this high would be the question. We've got a nice 1, 2, 3. We could do it, but
I
bit more oomph there.
just crossed my scan. Oh, it's full pulling back now. That's interesting. I've got a green hike in Ashy right now, but with both wick and tail. I did not change the GAN.
We're not getting much of a push.
Back down. Well, I kind of thought it would be doing more action than this.
Yeah.
This is not a good sign. I say my half a check mark might be 3/4 of a check mark now, but that doesn't sound very exciting. My moving averages are starting to tighten up, so we're getting to the point where we might be making a turn. And it looks like you'd be getting another opportunity to get into the trade if you missed the first one. Because I can't believe it's going to go continue down. But wouldn't be the first time we've been fooled.
Nope. Yeah, I'm expecting a bounce, but it doesn't mean that it's going to. You know, that's the I was expecting a bigger bounce here. It didn't happen. So, let's see how the 5-minute looks. Yeah, it's still very much weak. So, you know, we could continue down as well. The expectation of a bounce might
all to continue down.
That might be all they give us, that wick, and then they just continue straight down, taking out these lows. There's lots of liquidity sitting here as well, so they've got everyone out now who bought going up. All these buyers have been taken out.
Start counting candles. We'll see if we reach 7.
So we've got another 7 minutes left in the macro, and then we'll call it a day here. So the macro 10 minutes too didn't really do much per se. A little bit of a drop, and that was it. They took out all the liquidity on the downside, which is what I was expecting, but I couldn't take advantage of it because I did not get my bounce. So will they take out this high?
This is the first time I've turned my GAN around. I'm now working on positive GANs. So I'm saying that it'll probably begin to go now because I've made a good check mark now rather than a half or 3/4. And looks like I have 1.5 check marks plus a price turnaround. GAN is now a 4th check mark. So,
Still very tepid there, George. It's not convincing.
I know,
Yeah.
but
we've got to take this high out.
We're close to closing off time, so I'll wait till 10 after to see.
And what do we have for news tomorrow morning? Let's see what our news looks like for tomorrow morning. On Wednesday morning, we have ISM,
news.
PMI tomorrow morning.
PMI.
At, 7, yeah. So that would be interesting news there to see.
Yeah. Okay, that would be probably for last month.
So it's a slow retrace here. So this could be what they do for Asia, just sort of slowly come back up, maybe to take out this high, and then we could see continuation to the downside.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking for a retrace of this move. to do that. But
So we're solidly in the positive now, but I'm very well, the reason why it's tepid now on the money flow, et cetera, is because of the hour of the day. Once you hit the 4 o'clock area, the activity drops off tremendously. Yeah, you get some players and big time players that can continue the swing upward, that you'll get it. But if they decide that they want to go home, we'll have to wait for Asia.
yeah, Bitcoin is setting up nicely now for, we were looking for that entry earlier on this move, but you see what they did was they swept and then came back down into a gap area at this point. So now they're looking like they want to turn it around to continue up. So if we drop down to the 1 minute on Bitcoin, we've swept.
One minute is just
Retrace.
around to go up, but the problem is my 15 minutes says we're still in a downward mode, and it hasn't really gone down even more than 24%.
You're looking good for a bottom here. So got gaps, inverted gap. So price comes back and touches in here. This is a nice buy opportunity on Bitcoin.
NASDAQ is still showing the positive moves.
Yeah.
We've got our first candle with no tail on the 3 minute. And our moving averages on the 1 minute have turned positive. So that's saying it likes the 1, 2, 3. And our big problem is that we are more than 7 candles without breaking out of point number 2. On the 1 minute, that is.
Looking for an entry in Bitcoin. I needed to drop into this gap. I can take this into Asia. Oh, very close, very close.
Now we're getting a good move on the NAS. We just got our second positive candle with no tail.
Okay, there's my touch of the Bitcoin. It's almost, yeah, it's a little bit of a touch, so I'll take that right there because they might not go in. Look for that push back up on Bitcoin. And where am I going to? If I can stay alive in here, I want to continue to the highs because it's a good long push here. I don't even have to go up that high. I'll just go here. Nice move already. I'll just take some off already, which is great, and let the rest go. So I made some nice profits there just on that quick move.
Wow, that's great.
So let's see if we can continue pushing up. We can put a stop in.
Now our podcast is to take a rest. We've exhausted it too much. We finished the 10 after.
Yeah, this would be a nice move if works all continues to go up like that. So this was a nice setup here on the Bitcoin, because we get a sweep, move up, retrace back into a gap. That's what we're looking for all the time. Take a picture, guys. That's what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
You should be able to take advantage of this setup all the time. And you know, you don't even have to go very far. You could just go to that high there and take profits. You can take bits off and so forth. So it's all good. It's a really nice setup there.
We've just hit the third 3-minute moving Heikin-Ashi moving average up candle. We're going up. We're just getting ready to tag the 200 SMA on the 1-minute chart. So we're looking good now, Lennox,
For the NAS,
for the NAS. And
yeah, that was the expectation, to get that bounce. But it can they make it to take out this high, which would be nice, and then I'd be looking for a continuation back down.
I think it's time for me to take a walk.
All right, we'll call it a day at this point. So,
Question before we leave. Has there been any determination what we're going to do for a Skype replacement?
no, not at this time. We'll discuss tomorrow, I'm sure, at our meeting.
Okay.
Tomorrow we'll have a meeting after a session.
I haven't done anything. I've been on a couple of the others, and I haven't been that impressed. But you know,
Yeah, we shall see.
I don't know if Vic has been making a lot of tests.
I'm not sure. We'll find out tomorrow at our meeting, George.
Okay, very good. Well, take
right.
care now. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone, for dropping in. Appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone.
We will see you
and good trading.
on tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
All right.
Armin,
Bye, George.
Marquis,
Bye.
Stacy, thanks, guys.
We'll see you in a little bit. Bye for now.
All right, gentlemen. Thank
Take
you.
care.
Catch you guys tomorrow.
Take care.